You mentioned the different kinds of health testing that you do and that you want to do. What kind of health issues do they face?
So patellas are a really big issue for us. And so far, all of the puppies I've bred have come back 0-0, thank God. Some of them are still too young. I have placed dogs before that I was hoping to be, hopefuls for me that didn't pass their patellas. I'm a kind of a stickler for patellas because Pip's experience with them. Teeth are something we struggle with. And so we'll get a lot of, teeth that fall out. Bad bites are super common in puppies that come. I've bred bad bites. It is unfortunately something that happens. And I called my mentors freaking out, being like, I ruined this puppy. They're like, it's fine. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Just don't repeat it. I'm like, I won't ever. Heart issues are something that we are starting to see become an issue. And a lot of that actually is connected to teeth. So like the plaque that builds up, if your teeth are bad and nasty, the plaque that is building up in your bloodstream can affect your heart too. And so echocardiograms are not even recommended by our parent club, but is something that some people are starting to do and that I am trying to start implementing. There is a echo clinic in Gonzales, and so I want to take some of them to the echo clinic. But those are like the three big ones. If you Google issues with Chihuahua puppies, a lot of the times you'll see hydrocephalus come up. And so that Chihuahua, veterinarians that you take your Chihuahuas to will sometimes make a fuss about hydrocephalus because Chihuahuas a lot of the times have an open fontanel. And so that's the soft spot on the top of your skull that like human babies are born with and most puppies and stuff are born with. In a lot of other breeds, it closes up naturally. In Chihuahuas, it does not always close up. So they may have an open fontanel for the rest of their lives. And there is not an actual connection between an open fontanel and hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus does happen in our breed, but it is not like a direct correlation. Weirdly enough, way back when in the day, an open fontanel was considered to be a hallmark of a purebred Chihuahua. So you had to have an open fontanel to be considered a purebred Chihuahua.
That's crazy.
Yes. So we've done away with that, of course. But that's been the foundation of our breed. So trying to breed away from an open fontanel is going to take some time and effort. I want to say about 65% of my dogs have an open fontanel and some of them don't.
So can you explain what hydrocephalus is?
Fluid on the brain, water on the brain. So it's like a issue with the cerebral spinal fluid draining. And so that can be fixed surgically with a shunt, or, sometimes they'll develop a natural shunt. Sometimes Chihuahuas that have hydrocephalus can live. They don't live very long, about 5 or 6 years. And then, or they pass away. So it kind of just depends. So Gravy, I have a special needs puppy, Gravy. Everybody is very familiar with Gravy. We had a very hard birth with his labor. And so I had to revive him, and it took quite a long time to revive him. And so he had a little bit of oxygen deprivation. So he's my special baby. He's dumber than a box of rocks, but we love him. And so when he was younger, before I started kind of, working with my vet and realizing why he looked so stupid and why he was acting so stupid, we were concerned about hydrocephalus. So we shaved his head. I did ultrasounds of his brain. we did an ungodly amount of testing on this poor tiny little puppy. He doesn't have hydrocephalus. He just looks like that. But that is something that is one of the first things we go to when we're thinking about an issue with itty bitty Chihuahua puppies.
Can you tell when a dog has hydrocephalus from looking at them from the outside at all? Because I've seen people say that, oh, that dog looks like it has hydrocephalus.
So because it's a buildup of cerebral spinal fluid, it's a lot of pressure in the brain. So the eyeballs can get a little bulgier, and sometimes their head will get a little bit bulgier. And so that way you'll kind of see it a lot. They get a little cross-eyed sometimes because of the pressure behind their eyes, but not all the time you can tell. it really just depends on how bad it is. So like if they have a natural shunt, like you wouldn't see a lot of the signs because, you know, it's being drained somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.